Hey, Eric.
Hello.
Hi. You know, I'm an amazing guy, Eric. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
No matter how much abuse you heap on me, I continue to help you. And I don't even know why. Why should I? You know, it's funny. When you were on the air the other day and you were insulting me by saying, oh, you're some radio host and you're something. In 8 years, you've only got me 2 acting jobs, which I think is an amazingly nice thing I've done for you.
For a guy who doesn't act.
And you continually tell me how I'm a piece of shit. But all of a sudden, I get a call. You say on the air, gee, I wish I could be a Mary McCormick show in plain sight. Next thing I know, John Strauss is on the phone saying, oh, I'll write Eric in.
Well, basically what he said to you was not, I wish I could. It was like, you should be getting me on that show.
Who else in your life gets you anything but me? You're not even the least bit nice to me.
Well, funny you use the word abusing you.
Yes, you're abusive.
I don't get that on my end.
That's true.
From you and your fans.
Again, we can't take responsibility for what audience members or listeners write, Eric.
And Robin, get it right. I am an actor. I've been acting for 8 years on this show.
Acting what?
My real personality is nothing like what you are hearing now.
Oh, come on.
I'm fucking retarded.
Eric, this is so you. It's not acting. Besides, Eric, how are you? Oh, John, hi. Hold on one second here. I'm in the middle of a discussion with Eric before I let him on the phone with you.
We're arguing with Eric.
We're in the middle of an argument with Eric. Eric, how are you an actor? I say to you the other day, would you play a bad guy? And you're like, no.
Yeah, you won't be a drug addict. You won't be a criminal.
Hey, John, what kind of role do you have in mind for Eric? Not that I'm allowing this to happen yet, because Eric owes me an apology.
Well, we're a few months away from actually shooting. We just started up again with our writing staff, so we're talking about different story areas.
So this would be the time.
This would be the time. You know, I really just I had heard the list of demands last week and thought, I called Mary and, we discussed it and thought, well, maybe we could make some arrangements to Eric to have you on for...
Yeah, but did you hear he won't even play? Hey, listen to this. Hey, Eric.
Yes.
Would you ever play a stalker?
No, because I've been accused of that in real life, and I haven't.
All right, so you don't understand that no one would think you were a stalker. It's a character you play. But
I've already been called a stalker by
but
you
so what?
and the show.
What?
All right, let me ask you this. Would you play a person who killed a dog?
As much as I love dogs, I'd have to say no to that.
Okay. Would you play a crystal meth addict who watches kiddie porn?
Probably not.
Mm-hmm. Would you play a little person who hides in a diaper hamper at a daycare center? Because you get off on looking at little children.
Again, probably not.
Would you play a member of Al-Qaeda?
No, I don't think that it would even fit.
What do you mean it wouldn't fit? We put you in a turban, you're a little shake.
Right. Would you, the world's smallest Al-Qaeda member, you will not play that?
No.
Would you play a United States senator who gets caught blowing a Spanish gardener?
No, I would not.
There you go.
He won't play anything.
I mean, this was John's list. Would you play a gynecologist who takes pictures of Mary McCormick's vagina and then puts it on the internet and is accused of being unethical? Because that's a major thing they're thinking about.
I don't think so.
Well, then you don't get a part.
John, would you play... Eric, would you play Mary McCormick's vagina?
Talking vagina.
A talking vagina. Would you be the voice of her vagina?
I don't think so. I mean,
Would you play a person who doesn't recycle? Who's like the law is you have to recycle, but you will not recycle.
I'll go with that.
You would play that.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big leap.
John Strauss,
All right.
Are there any parts where it's a guy who doesn't want to recycle despite the laws?
And he has to go into witness protection.
Wow.
Right.
We have a large staff of very talented writers. I think we'll have to get to work on that.
What are you thinking? Like I've seen the show. What could Eric play on the show? I assume it would be a one-shot deal or maybe a recurring character. What do you have in mind?
Well, I mean, I think we were thinking possibly we have one. We're in the area of a hoarder. Someone who kind of never leaves the house, and has gotten so many a collection of so much stuff they can barely get out of the house. We thought maybe there was something in there.
So there's been some discussion about an Eric part based on what you heard here on the radio, and
Somebody collects Eric in this?
That's possible. We
so Eric would play a hoarder.
That is certainly one thing we discussed.
Eric, are you open to playing a hoarder?
That I would not mind doing.
What if you're a hoarder who also has to kiss a guy?
No.
You would never do that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll scratch that off.
No.
That'll get him out of the house.
You would not play a gay hoarder?
No.
Wow. Robin Williams was in that fantastic movie where he played a gay man. You know what I'm talking about, Robin?
Robin Williams?
Yes. Wasn't he in La Cage aux Folles?
Oh, yes. I completely forgot about that.
I mean, Robin Williams is not gay, but he played a gay guy. You can't play a gay hoarder?
No.
Wow.
All the greats have played gay.
Of course.
Tom Hanks?
He won an Academy Award.
Absolutely.
How is this guy an actor?
Some of the parts that Eric, these people don't really come from the cream of society.
Right.
People who end up in witness protection. I mean, over the life of the show, there's been drug traffickers and diamond smugglers and counterfeiters and
he doesn't even understand. But he doesn't understand that.
Would he be a cross-dresser?
Will you be a cross-dressing pot farmer? Eric?
No.
No. All right.
And Howard, I do understand what the show's about. I've watched just about every episode.
But how do you describe yourself as an actor if you don't understand that no one thinks you would be a real cross-dresser?
Do you think those actors you're watching have actually committed their crime?
I've seen John Malkovich play a man in a woman's outfit. He's like one of these psychopaths.
Yeah. Tom Wilkinson.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't understand how you're an actor. I mean, what actor says he won't play? He's almost...
There's nothing Eric will play except a hero.
We actually do have an area that we're talking about that does take place in the world of drag queens.
Go ahead.
Believe it or not.
And what would Eric be required to do?
Well, it's possible that, he could be... We do have one of our WITSEC inspectors going undercover in a club, and, he could be in that club.
So Eric would be required to go undercover. Let's say he's on the show. He assists by going undercover. He's a federal agent.
He's a federal agent?
Right.
Wow.
That's
I don't think that's what he had in mind.
No. Eric goes undercover as... Is that what you're referring to?
No, I think he would be like a club member, like he's one of the people who hangs out in this club.
Oh, he